Imagine holding an object in your hands that predates the pyramids by 7,000 years. An object that fell from the sky in 2025, but was forged when humans were supposed to be living in caves. Colombia just found it. And the carbon dating results that came back recently don't just challenge history, they shatter it completely. March 17th, 2025. A quiet Monday morning in Buga, Colombia. Most people were starting their week like any other, sipping coffee, heading to work, living ordinary lives. Then the sky tore open with a sound that nobody who heard it will ever forget. Witnesses described it as thunder mixed with something metallic, something wrong. A farmer named Carlos Mendez was tending his cattle when he saw it. A streak of light, silvery and deliberate, cutting through the morning haze like a knife through fabric. It wasn't the chaotic tumble of a meteorite. This thing moved with purpose. When it hit the ground in a rural area near the town, it didn't explode, it didn't shatter, it simply arrived, like it had been waiting for this exact moment, this exact place. What they found changed everything. A sphere, perfectly metallic, roughly 3 feet in diameter. Its surface caught the light in ways that seemed almost liquid, reflecting the world around it with an eerie precision. No seams, no joints, no marks that suggested it had been manufactured by human hands or torn apart by atmospheric entry. Local authorities cordoned off the area immediately. The Colombian Air Force got involved, then scientists, then researchers from universities across South America. Everyone wanted answers. What was this thing? Where did it come from? And most importantly, why did it feel so unsettling to look at? The initial theories were predictable. Space debris, maybe. Some forgotten satellite component, tumbling back to Earth after decades in orbit. A piece of Cold War technology finally coming home. Reasonable explanations from reasonable people trying to make sense of the unreasonable. But then came the tests. The metallurgical analysis revealed something that shouldn't have been possible. The alloy composition didn't match anything in our current aerospace catalog. It wasn't Russian, it wasn't American. It wasn't Chinese or European or from any known space program, past or present. The molecular structure suggested manufacturing techniques that we're only beginning to understand today. If you think that's strange, wait until you hear what the carbon dating revealed. Late September 2025, 6 months after the sphere fell from the sky. A team of researchers at a Colombian laboratory finished their isotopic analysis. The results came back with a date that made absolutely no sense. 12,560 years old. Give or take a few decades. Let that sink in for a moment. This metallic sphere, this precisely engineered object with its seamless construction and advanced alloy composition, predates the pyramids of Egypt by more than 7,000 years. It's older than Stonehenge, older than agriculture, older than written language. It comes from a time when humans were supposed to be living in caves, hunting with stone tools, just beginning to figure out that you could plant seeds and grow food. And yet, here it was. A sophisticated piece of technology that fell from the sky in 2025, but was forged when woolly mammoths still walked the earth. The implications are staggering. Either our understanding of human history is catastrophically wrong, or something else was here. Something that could work metal with precision we've only achieved in the last century. Something that could create alloys we're still trying to replicate. Something that, for reasons we can't begin to fathom, left this sphere to fall through time and space until it landed in a Colombian field on a Monday morning in March. Dr. Elena Vargas, the lead researcher on the project, put it bluntly in a press conference. We're not dealing with a meteorite. We're not dealing with space debris. We're dealing with an artifact. And that artifact is rewriting the timeline of advanced civilization on this planet. The scientific community is divided, as you'd expect. Skeptics argued the dating must be wrong, that there's contamination, that organic material attached to the sphere is throwing off the results. They demand more tests, more verification, more peer review, and they're right to be cautious. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, but the evidence keeps mounting. Microscopic analysis of the sphere's surface revealed something even more peculiar. Embedded within the metal itself are geometric patterns visible only under high magnification. They're not random. They repeat with mathematical precision, forming what some researchers believe could be a form of data storage. Binary code written in metal, perhaps. Or something more complex, something we haven't invented the mathematics to decode yet. Think about that. We might be holding an ancient hard drive in our hands, and we don't even know what operating system it runs on. Local legends in the Buga region suddenly took on new significance. Stories passed down through generations about sky stones and gifts from the gods that elders dismissed as folklore. Indigenous groups in the area have oral histories about objects that fell from the heavens in the time before memory, objects that were said to contain knowledge from the stars. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe these stories are fragments of a much older truth, preserved through countless retellings, waiting for the moment when physical evidence would finally arrive to validate them. The sphere sits now in a secure facility, surrounded by instruments and cameras, monitored 24/7. Scientists from around the world have requested access. Governments want it analyzed by their own experts. Conspiracy theorists claim it's been switched with a replica, that the real sphere is already in some classified underground bunker being reverse-engineered by shadowy agencies. But here's what keeps everyone up at night. The question that haunts every researcher who's examined this thing. If this sphere is 12,000 years old, if it represents a level of technological sophistication that shouldn't exist in that time period, then where are the others? Because objects like this don't exist in isolation. Civilizations don't create one perfect sphere and then vanish without a trace. They leave behind tools, structures, waste, the detritus of daily life. They leave behind evidence of their existence scattered across the landscape, buried in sediment, waiting to be discovered. So where is it? Where are the cities, the factories, the remnants of the culture that could create something like the Buga sphere? Some researchers propose the cataclysm theory, that around 12,000 years ago, something catastrophic happened to Earth. Massive flooding, asteroid impact, volcanic eruptions on a scale we can barely imagine. Events so devastating they wiped entire civilizations off the map, buried them under miles of sediment and ocean water, erased them so completely that we're only now finding the first clues of their existence. The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis aligns eerily well with the sphere's dating. A period of rapid climate change, megafaunal extinctions, and possible cosmic impacts that occurred right around 12,800 years ago. Could an advanced civilization have been caught in that cataclysm? Could the Buga sphere be a survivor, a message in a bottle from a world that ended in fire and ice? Others suggest something even more unsettling, that the sphere isn't from Earth at all. That 12,000 years ago, something visited our planet, something that observed us, studied us, perhaps even helped us. And when they left behind markers, beacons, time capsules designed to activate or be discovered when we reached a certain level of development. The sphere's trajectory was calculated by astrophysicists working with the Colombian government. If you trace its path backward through space, accounting for orbital mechanics and gravitational perturbations, it doesn't point to any known asteroid belt or debris field. It points to deep space, to the dark between stars. Where was it for 12,000 years? Orbiting, drifting, waiting, and perhaps most disturbing of all, why did it fall now? What changed in 2025 that triggered its descent? Was it random chance, or is there a clock ticking somewhere, counting down to something we can't see coming? The Buga sphere has become more than a scientific curiosity. It's become a symbol of everything we don't know about our own history, our own planet, our place in the universe. It's proof that reality is stranger and more complex than our textbooks admit, that there are layers to human history we haven't uncovered, that the story we tell ourselves about our origins might be incomplete, sanitized, missing the most important chapters. Museums are already negotiating for its display once the initial research phase concludes. Documentaries are being filmed, books are being written. The sphere that fell from the sky has captured the world's imagination in a way that few discoveries ever do. But in the quiet moments, when the cameras are off and the press conferences are over, the scientists working on this project admit something else. They're scared, not of the sphere itself, but of what it represents, of the questions it asks and the answers it implies. Because if we're wrong about this, if there really was an advanced civilization 12,000 years ago that we've completely missed, then what else are we wrong about? What other artifacts are buried beneath our feet, waiting for someone to dig in the right place? What other truths are hidden in plain sight, dismissed as myths or legend or impossible? The Buga sphere sits in its laboratory, silent and inscrutable. A perfect metallic eye staring back at everyone who examines it, reflecting their faces, their instruments, their desperate need to understand. It offers no easy answers. It doesn't glow or hum or broadcast messages in ancient languages. It simply exists, older than it should be, more advanced than it has any right to be, and utterly, completely real. And somewhere, in the back of every researcher's mind, is the same thought. The same question that won't go away, no matter how much data they collect or how many tests they run. If this sphere is 12,000 years old and came from the sky, what else is up there, waiting to fall?